Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoti Mandala. Welcome you all to the video lecture series on object-oriented programming through Java. So we are in our lecture number 39. In this lecture, we'll see about what actually this event handling is. So in this lecture, we'll see the introduction part of this event handling. So this is a part of our graphics programming. As part of graphics programming, we already learned about what is an applet and how applets can be created and how 2D shapes can be generated by using these applets. We already learned in our previous lectures. So in this lecture, we'll see how event handling and all can be done. So what actually an event is and what is nothing but event handling. Event is nothing but a change in a state of an object. It is nothing but if you are performing some operation, that means if you are, let us consider a text box. On a text box, if you start typing, that means earlier it was empty text box, now you are started typing into the text box. That is nothing but you have changed the state of that object. Similarly, if you take one button, on that button you can perform a click operation. Earlier it was not click. Now you have changed the state of that object by clicking. So such a change on an object is referred as an event. Right, all of you? So normally whenever events are generated, like in your graphical user interface, you will have so many components, and on that components, whatever components you have, like your text box or radio buttons or your normal buttons. So on that, whatever operation if you perform, then only the events will be generated. So these are the examples, like entering characters in the text box or dragging your mouse button or clicking on a button. So these are some of the examples through which events will be generated. Now whenever an event is generated, so there will be some mechanism that will be deciding what should happen when an event occurs. I'm repeating once again. See, let us consider a simple example, like whenever you are clicking on a button, you want to generate one message, right? Now clicking on the button is nothing but event, and the code that you are going to write to display this message whenever this event is handling, that code is called as event handler. Got it, all of you? So event handling is nothing but it is a mechanism that controls the event and decides what it has to happen once an event has occurred. Okay, so normally this is nothing but your delegation event modeling approach will be followed. I'll tell you what is actually this delegation event model is. Normally whenever we are saying delegation event model, we have two participants involved here, source and the listener. Source is nothing but through which events will be generated. Okay, listener is nothing but through who will be handling the events. That means who will be generating the response. I'm telling the same example. Suppose button you have, on the button you can perform an event, right? So whenever you're clicking on the button, if you want to display one message, hello world message you want to display, to do that task you can have a separate Java code, and that Java code is called as a listener. That means you will have a source and you will have a listener, right? Now let us take a simple button as a source of our example. So on that I am writing click here. So whenever I will click here, then what happens, I want to generate one message, and that message should be represented in a Java code. Now remember, whenever we have listeners, that means whenever we have Java codes, these listeners need to register with these events. So we have so many listeners. These listeners should register first with these events. Okay, so whenever an event occurs, that means whenever there is a change in the event, then that will be redirected to the Java code. That means whenever you're clicking here, so here whenever you're clicking, that means there is a change in the state, that means event has occurred, then what happens, you will be redirected to this Java code whichever is registered with this. Okay, so then that Java code will be executed and it will generate the response, that will be your output. So why it is called as a delegation event model is because once an event is generated, then this will be delegating the event processing to the listener. That's why it is called as a delegation event model. Now what is the benefit of having this event model is, whatever user interface you have, see your user interface will have a combination of buttons, checkboxes, text box, boxes, all those things. So the code is required to write. We have to write the code for your user interface, and also you have to write the code for your event handling also. That means we can have a separate code. That means the complete user interface design can be separated from the user from the event handler. That means from the Java code, which can be written as a separate Java code. So this will be a separate code and this will be a separate code. You can have like that. Okay, that is the main benefit of having your delegation event model. I am repeating once again, whenever you are saying event handling, we will be having two participants. One will be source and the other one will be the listener. So source will be generating the events, okay, and events will be generated through some components like your buttons or text boxes, like that. Now once an event is generated, that event will be redirected to a Java code which is called as a listener. But before that, the Java code or the listener has to register with this event, right? So this is how event handling will be done. Now to perform this event handling, these are different types of sources we have which generates the events, like button, checkboxes, list, menu item, choice. You all know what is the difference between menu item and choice. Choice is nothing but your option button. Menu item is nothing but you will be having a group of items. From that you can select. Scroll bar, suppose if your page is larger than the window whatever you are displaying, you are having, so there will be a scroll bars added. Text component is nothing but you can have a text typed into that box, or else you can have multiple lines which is called as text area. Also you can have a window on which these components can be added. So events can be generated by using these sources. So these sources will generate the event. Now whenever an event is generated, events will be sent to a listener. Now what actually this listener is? I told you listener is nothing but your Java code. Now here the Java code is nothing but we will be using the interfaces. Predefined interfaces will be there for a respective event. For button, if an event is generated by a particular button, then for its related interfaces will be there. We need to use that interfaces, and its related classes are there. We need to use that classes also, right? But before that, whenever the listener want to handle this event, this listener, what are all the interfaces we have, that has to register with, they have to register with these events. So to do that task, they need to follow this syntax. Add type listener, syntax need to be followed. This is a method available in a package called java.awt.event package. In that package, this method is available. So this method helps us in registering the listeners to the sources. Right, all of you? Now I will be showing you the list of event classes and what are from which sources these events can be generated, and what are all the related interfaces we have for that particular event. Right, now remember, whenever from a particular source an event is generated, from this list whatever I will show you here, from this list whatever event is generated, that event can be handled by using these predefined classes and interfaces. You all know what is the difference between a class and an interface. Interface is nothing but it will be having the abstract classes. We need to override those methods. Right, all of you? So let us see what are all the list of things we have. So the first class, predefined class we have is action event, and this can be generated by the events like button, menu item and list. These are the sources. From this, if any event is generated, we can handle those events by using this class called action event and action listener interface. Okay, similarly we have action adjustment event, component event, container event, focus event. So all these classes will be having some methods that are used to handle the events that are generated by this component. Component is nothing but multiple components will be there. So by using those components, if any event is generated, that can be handled by the methods that are available in these predefined classes, and also by using these interfaces also. Right, and also we have item event and key event. So that can be generated by the source of these events, and the related interfaces are item listener and key listener. And we have mouse event handling concepts. This is called as keyboard event handling method options. And if you are performing, if any event is generated by your mouse, like mouse clicking or mouse double clicking, dragging or mouse movement, so such events can be handled by using your mouse events and your these interfaces, right? And also we have two more, that is text event class and window event class. These will be including the methods that are generated by the sources text component and window component, and these are the interfaces. But remember, one more time I am telling, whenever you want any interface or a class, if you want them to handle the event that are generated by these sources, they need to register first with these things. Okay, and for any class or the interfaces from this list, if you want to use, you need to import a package called java.awt.event package. Okay, all of you. Now we'll see what is the template we need to follow whenever we want to handle any event. Till now, theoretically I told you like these are the events, these are the sources of the events, and these are the classes, predefined classes, and these are the interfaces list I have given. Now, whenever you want to write any code or any application to be generated to handle the event, what is the template we need to follow? This template is common for all the events. First, we need to have a statements called import statements, which imports the related packages. So we need to import three packages: AWT package, AWT.event package, and applet package. Why we are importing this applet package? Because we will be checking our output through the applets. So that's why we are importing this applet package. We already learned about what will be included in this applet and all these things. So I told you like applet will have some life cycle where we have init, start, stop, all these methods. Got it? So first step, as an event handling template, we need to import the package. So these are the packages we need to import. Next, we need to write our own predefined class, which should be public, and that class should extend this applet class. Why? Because we are working with the applets, and also we need to implement the interfaces. Suppose if you are working with if you want to handle the keyboard events, then we need to implement the interfaces that are related to the keyboard. Okay, and if you want to handle the mouse events, then the interfaces relating to the mouse should be considered here, right? So such thing we need to do as second step, where for our predefined class, it should be a public, we need to extend that an applet class, and we need to implement the interfaces. We can implement multiple interfaces also. Okay, and as a third step, we need to write down the applet code, which is your HTML code using the applet tag. And then we need to write down the init method, and in this init method, remember, init method is a part of your applet life cycle. Now in this init method, we need to register the listener interfaces. I already told you we need to register the listeners to the source, right? So that step we need to do in the fourth step, where in the init method we need to write down the statements related to registering the listener's interface. So the syntax will be this one. We need to use add type listener. Whatever listener you want, that you need to do. Let us consider if you are working with mouse, then you need to write add mouse listener, right? And the last step is we need to override the methods that are available in our interfaces to perform the particular events. Right? So this is the template we need to follow to work with any events. So remember, event is nothing but a change in the state of an object. Event handler is nothing but a Java code or an interface or a combination of listener where we have a classes and interfaces in combination with that will be handling this event. Got it? So if you want to work with the event handling, you need to follow this template. So with this, we'll come to an end of introduction to event handling. In the next class, as an example to this introduction, we'll take the mouse events, how they can be handled and all through the example we'll learn in the next lecture. I hope you all are clear with this concept. Let us all meet in our next lecture. Until then, thank you all of you.